I figured with the Sacramento Kings making the playoffs the first time in 17 years, the fact that this Warriors versus Kings series is going down to the last two games, the fact that De'Aaron Fox is playing like an all NBA superstar, the fact that his star is literally elevating, that no one can catch him, the fact that I host a movie podcast and I'm a huge Sacramento Kings fan, I just decided, screw it, let's do it. I'm just going to cast my Beam Team movie, the movie that will remember this season. In this scenario, I'm an executive. I have unlimited money, $200 million plus that I can throw at any passion project I want. Doesn't matter. I can do whatever I want. I can hire whoever I want. This is the movie that I'm making. I'm making alone. So here is the Beam Team movie. So I am going to cast not only who will star in this movie, who will direct and write this movie, and what I want this movie to be. So, my name is Ben Friedman, here from the Beniverse Movie Channel, and let's talk about the Sacramento Kings and the Beam Team. The Beam Team has been one of the most fun years as a Kings fan. If not, why am I even saying most fun? It's the best season I've ever had in my life as a Kings fan. I was at Game 2, Game 4, and Game 5. Luckily, I was at Game 2 because that game was incredible. I am just so hyped for this season. Obviously, I don't know if we can close out the Warriors. It feels really tough to do. But regardless, this season is a huge success, and I want to celebrate it. And again, if I was a movie executive and I had unlimited money, I'd be like, let's make the Sacramento Kings movie that we all want. So I am casting the Beam Team. Again, it's my channel, so I can do whatever the heck that I want, but I want to describe the movie that I'm trying to make. And I am an executive, so I have no original ideas. I'm basically making Moneyball, but for basketball, with a little bit more humor. Kind of think that Moneyball style mixed with that new movie, Air, directed by Ben Affleck. Kind of a healthy mix of that. Somewhere in between that. I decided, let's just stick with who did it best. Aaron Sorkin wrote Moneyball. He will be writing the Beam Team. I cannot allow Aaron Sorkin to direct this movie. He's a really talented writer. As a director, I like some of his movies, and I also think he's just not capable of doing some things that I want. So I wanted to get somebody who understood basketball, who understood just the culture around basketball as well, and someone who's just an incredibly talented director, and someone who's just passionate about sports. That's why Spike Lee's directing the Beam Team movie. Spike Lee will be directing it. And how we're doing this is it's a kind of more pseudo comedy drama, feel good sports movie. And to do that, we are going to focus more on the executives and the team. I thought that would be the more interesting approach. Again, maybe I just really like Moneyball, but I think the whole idea of assembling this ragtag team that no one really has faith in, the idea of changing a franchise and a culture, that means the two most important people you have to cast in this are the executive and our coach. So that's why that's who we need to focus on. That's who we are focusing on capturing in this. So for the executive of the Sacramento Kings, Monte McNair, I am casting Bradley Cooper as Monte McNair. I think he can bring that gravitas. I think he brings that calm level-headedness, but he's also someone that I believe on the phone, getting down and dirty with the other sports teams, trading, negotiating, all that. I think it's a very suitable role for Bradley Cooper, and a role, honestly, we haven't seen him get to play, so I'd be interested to see him play this type of character. For Mike Brown, you just need somebody who's ultimately just so charismatic and so motivating. And why break something that's so easy to cast? The obvious answer here is Denzel Washington. And listen, I'm not going for realism in the sense of they have to look exactly like the actor. This is a dramatization. Who cares what they look like, how close they look like to the actual actor? That's why Denzel Washington, he brings that charisma, he brings that energy, he brings that intensity that Coach Mike Brown brings to this. Now, some of the other supporting players before we get to the actual Sacramento Kings team. I wanted to obviously bring Vivek, the owner of the Sacramento Kings, here. I think Vivek has a really weird reputation with the fan base, in the sense that there is the sector of the fan base, in fact, probably the majority of the fan base does support Vivek for the fact that he kept the Kings in Sacramento. They also have had to deal with some of the meddling and maybe some of the incompetency seen with Vivek. Now, since we've made the playoffs, it feels like this year the love of Vivek has really grown. But I just kind of want this guy in here who's just going to almost at times just play a little bit of the comedic foil for this movie. Some of the ones that get under Monty's hair, or I guess lack of hair. But Aziz Ansari was my pick for Vivek. We'll age him up. He'll do the makeup. I think he can do it. I think he'd have a lot of fun with this role. So Aziz Ansari will play Vivek for me. Though, honestly, maybe Hassan Minhaj, considering he's a Sacramento Kings fan. You know what? I'm changing this on the fly. Hassan Minhaj will be Vivek in my movie because born and raised in Davis, and he's a true life Sacramento Kings fan. We are going to focus here on Hassan Minhaj. Now, let's get some of the other supporting cast. I didn't go out of my way to cast every actor on the Sacramento Kings. I didn't do everybody, but I did a handful of them. So let's get some really easy ones out. I'll save some of the more important players for later. In my version, Chimezie Metu will be played by Shameik Moore, the star of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I think he has a lot of charisma, and again, with this film being funny, I just think Shameik Moore can pull off the comedy. I just see Metu in my movie, in my vision, being a little bit more of the comedic foil in this movie, so that's why Shameik Moore is going to do that. On this side, I also have Kevin Huerter, who I didn't know what to do with Huerter, so I'm like, what do I want from my movie? And I'm like, I want talented actors acting. And I'm like, okay, then I need someone in their mid-20s who's a very talented actor. And I'm like, you know who could do that? Timothée Chalamet. So I'm grabbing Timothée Chalamet for my movie as well. So I got Timothée Chalamet and Shameik Moore. Next guy that I want to cast is Matthew Dellavedova, the Steph stopper himself. This is another role that I'm just like, who do I want in here? And I'm like, you know what? You know somebody that looks like Dellavedova? You know somebody that I know I said I wasn't casting based on looks, but in this case, it just felt so perfect. Rupert Grint, Ron Weasley himself is playing Delly in my version. Alex Len will be played by Alex Len himself. I just wanted to have him in there as a fun cameo. To be honest, I don't think he's doing much in this film. But so I just decided Alex Len deserves the paycheck. Alex Len is Alex Len in my film. Let's go over some of the other big ones. Keegan Murray, our rookie. Keegan Murray. He's cast in my movie as well. I had to get a younger black actor for this, and I was looking at a few of them, and then I was thinking of like, who have I really liked in films from the past few years? And there's one name that I hit, and I'm like, wait, actually, I really like that idea for Keegan Murray. It's Chosen Jacobs. Chosen was in the It series, specifically the first film. I'm blanking on what the name of his character was, but he's a very good actor. I really like him, and I think he would do well with my version of Keegan Murray in this movie. I think bringing a lot of the kind of seriousness of it, because, you know, Keegan Murray is a very serious guy. Let's cast a few other ones. I'm going to cast this one real quick because I didn't have much thought on it. It was Domantas Sabonis, our guy from the Indiana Pacers, who we traded Halliburton for, one of my new favorite players. I didn't know exactly what to do with Sabonis, so I just decided let's get another really good actor in there who I think can do justice. I couldn't find an actor quite as tall as Sabonis, so I'm like, you know what, we're not going to worry about that level of accuracy. I got Lucas Hedges. Lucas Hedges, Manchester by the Sea. He was in that Honey Boy movie with Shia LaBeouf a few years ago. He's a very talented actor. I just saw him just bringing a level of gravitas and leadership that I think Sabonis does so well. Next one is, this is where it gets a little bit fun. I want a few other big names in this film. I wanted the villain of this film, and I saw how my movie was going to accumulate, how it was going to end. The big third act finale was Game 2. Kings versus Warriors. The Sabonis Draymond Green incident, winning it at Golden One Center, kind of that triumphant moment that most sports movies have, the intensity of the crowd, everything. So I needed a villain. So I needed a villain for Draymond Green. I'm like, the Spike Lee connection, it makes sense. This guy's already worked with Spike Lee. So I've said, John David Washington, who can yell. He yells very well in movies. So I'm like, let's get Denzel Washington's kid, John David Washington, to reunite with his Black Klansman director, Spike Lee, and Draymond Green will be played by John David Washington. Harrison Barnes will be played by Michael B. Jordan in this movie. We just need some adults in the room. Michael B. Jordan is an established actor who will help my box office at the end. So Harrison Barnes, number 40, is being played by Michael B. Jordan. I figured the friendship element of these movies is always important. The two biggest friends in this team are Malik Monk and De'Aaron Fox. So I'll go with the more conventional of the two castings. De'Aaron Fox. Caleb McLaughlin is, I believe how you pronounce his name. Caleb McLaughlin? Anyway, Caleb is the actor who stars as Lucas Sinclair in Stranger Things, and he also, on Broadway, he was the Lion King. He was Simba on Broadway. He's a really talented actor. He has kind of the hairstyle at one point that De'Aaron Fox would have. I just kind of saw the look and smile that De'Aaron Fox can have, that charisma that Fox does so well. So I'm like, you know what? De'Aaron Fox is going to be played by Caleb. Congratulations, Caleb. You're getting a huge honor here. And then finally, the other friend, Malik Monk. Malik is such the flashy player on the team. He's kind of the jokester. You can feel that devilish nature of him. He's reckless. He's kind of out there. He has tunnel vision, but yet you still kind of love him. He's this guy who just does his thing, and then he can have these triumphant moments where he scores like 45 against the Clippers, 37 in game 1 of the playoffs. Just do all that. And I'm like, okay, I need someone just out there as an actor, somebody weird, a weird choice that kind of works for the energy. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just go full on weird. Jaden Smith, Will Smith's kid, Jaden Smith. I'm going full Nepo. You needed one Nepo kid in your movie. Jaden Smith, opposite of Caleb, De'Aaron Fox, and Malik Monk. That is my cast. That is my vision for the Beam Team. And that is the movie that I'm making and that I have every right to make because, again, in this scenario, I'm an executive with a lot of money. Anyway, I'm posting this video. Tonight will be Game 6. This could determine what happens with the Kings' future. Anyway, though, I feel great about this season. I feel like we'll come back even better and stronger. We'll fix some of the rim protection, get some wing defense in there, and I feel like we'll be in really good spot. But anyway, hopefully we win tonight. I'm really hoping that the Kings can push this to Game 7 and that we could even pull away with the series. We'll see. But regardless, thank you all for watching this video. If you like this channel, my name is Ben Friedman here at the Beniverse Movie Channel. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all later. Thank you for watching. Go Kings.